Hey, Ray,
Hey, Tegan.
do you want to hear something weird about self-driving cars?
Oh, please, do I ever. Tell me the weird thing about self-driving cars. Thank you.
I thought you might react like that. So, in our time as tech journalists, we've seen a lot of things go wrong with self-driving cars / autonomous vehicles.
Absolutely. And most of them was because the auto industry was refusing to share information with each other to make it safer.
Love that. Absolutely. So, literally, even just taking Teslas as an example, the autopilot and full self-driven features have been linked to hundreds of crashes and 29 deaths between 2018 and 2023. And that's one brand, right?
I haven't even been keeping up with the amount of recalls related to autopilot either. It was so many.
So many. And so that's really horrible. But today we were a fun podcast, so I wanted to talk to you about something a little lighter, bit lighter than that.
Okay.
Ray, have you heard of Waymo?
I have heard of Waymo.
Right. So they are, if anyone hasn't, it started as Google's self-driving car project and then evolved into a fully fledged company under Alphabet. So that's Google's parent company. And essentially what they do is offer self-driving taxis in cities like LA and San Francisco.
Yes.
So that's their whole thing.
Yes. So that was the OG Google self-driving car project.
100%.
Yep.
And so San Fran is where our story is set today, Ray.
Oh, fantastic.
So
where I got mugged.
Oh God, I remember you getting mugged on a Gizmodo trip.
It was with Samsung. I had my wallet stolen from me in the lobby of my hotel.
It was not Samsung's fault. We do not.
Not Samsung's fault, and not the gentleman who took my wallet's fault either. You got to fix your capitalist society, San Fran.
Absolutely.
Give people houses. Anyway, sorry, I'm going on tangents.
That's okay. So because the Waymo self-driving taxis are in San Francisco, unsurprisingly, sometimes issues crop up, and a particular issue has cropped up recently.
Okay.
So these taxis are driving around, picking people up, dropping them off, but they need to charge at some point, right?
Of course,
because they're also electric vehicles. And so there is designated places, maybe more than one, but we're talking about one in particular, that every day or between rides, whenever they need it, they gather at this particular parking lot to recharge because they're electric. And this is where there's been a problem. So these high-tech autonomous cars, the future of transportation, if you will, have developed a habit of honking at each other.
Oh, what? They're communicating.
They're chatting to it, especially in the middle of the night. They're having a chat, much to the dismay of residents.
Oh, wow. So they're just sitting there being like, beep, 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 beep. How you going, Barry? Yeah, I'm doing all right, guys. How you doing? Oh, I'm at 25%. Where are you at? Oh, like what?
I knew it. This is the most you story. As soon as I heard this, I'm like, I have to tell Ray. And I was actually low-key paranoid that you would come with this exact same story. This is how much of a you story this is.
It's going to happen one day. One day we're going to be telling the same thing to each other and just nerding out over it. It's going to be great. But I hadn't actually heard this. This is adorable.
It's so cute.
I mean, great, but not great for the residents. No. I would be very upset about it. But
absolutely. But unfortunately, this has been a recurring problem since the end of July. So the engineers have been scrambling to fix it, updating the software a few times, and it would go away for a while, but then the honking would return. Which is such a fun sentence to say.
The honking would return.
The honking would return. And
what if they're trying to tell us something?
Maybe they are. As it turns out, they actually are.
Oh, okay. Okay, all right, great. Because I'm like, they're clearly trying to communicate with us. We can't just shut them down. We need to hear them out.
We need to listen to the honking cars. But anyway, so this returned in the latter half of August. It might be fixed by the time this episode comes out, but at the time, it's still being a recurring issue. So what is it trying to tell us, Ray? It's a great question. It actually makes a lot of sense when you think about it. So the honking has been keep saying the honking and laughing. It's so good. It's the result of the cars getting bunched up because they're coming together in the parking lot. I guess it happens when they're on the street. And it makes sense. It's the vehicles honking to tell each other to move. Like it's a safety feature to prevent collisions because they're getting too close. So it's like, move.
No,
Move.
you move. No, you move. You move. You move. Oh,
Because they're all equipped with
amazing.
these 360-degree cameras, right? And they're meant to be like more aware than a human driver. That this is meant to be this like great technology, but it's meant to alert other drivers to their presence to produce accidents. But I guess they just never really anticipated that the cars would end up honking at each other when they were in this parking lot charging.
This is a classic example of why artificial intelligence is not intelligent. It's
Mhm.
just doing what you've taught it to do.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, this is amazing, Tegan.
Isn't it so good? It made me so happy. It does get better. There's a little bit more to the story.
Okay, yeah, please.
So one of the residents, as unhappy as they are, did the funniest thing possible, which is you know Lo-Fi Girl, right?
I do with the hip hop beats.
So it's like the chill study lo-fi beats, and there's a few knockoffs and things now, but very, very famous on YouTube that people put on when they want to relax or study or whatever.
You just have this music playing in the background of your whole life, and it's amazing.
And so one resident started a 24-hour live stream of the honking. That was called Lo-Fi Waymo Hip Hop Radio Self-Driving Taxi Depot Shenanigans to Relax / Study To.
It's still online.
I
Is
will
it
need to
still
check that.
online?
I will need to check.
Please send me a link. I want to hear it.
I will check. I'll be sad. See, but we'll be sad if it's not honking. That's the thing. But basically, this stream allegedly features 2 cameras that are pointed at the parking lot, capturing whatever's going on at the time.
Oh, that's amazing. That's
It's
so
beautiful.
amazing. See, this is the stuff the internet was made for.
It
We
was.
need more
It
things
was.
like this to happen.
And the internet agrees with you, Ray, because it became a global hit. Audiences around the world, to the point where Waymo's director of product and ops appeared on the stream to apologize for the noise and give a bit of an explainer.
That is beautiful. And I love that I can go to a remote location and be, filming something on set for days on end, not at all connected to what is happening in the world, and then catch up with you and you tell me about the best thing that I've heard about on the internet for a very long time. Thank you.
You're so welcome. Sadly, it does seem that at least at the time of recording, the honking had stopped. But to your point earlier, Ray, I think it's a really good example of these unintended consequences that can arise when this supposed cutting edge technology, and especially AI right now, interacts with the actual real world and the practicality needed in the real world. So with self-driving cars, it's not a new conversation, but we think about these huge challenges, right? Like, how will they navigate complex urban environments? How will they handle ethical dilemmas on the road? But it's more like these small problems, that are actually causing issues. Like, they're honking at each other because they've all they're all communing in this car park to charge.
They're loitering. They're engaging in gang activity. I'm surprised the cops aren't moving them on.
I know, right? It's the US, so
just shooting their tires out.